What's going on, you bunch of heretics? Grab your paint pots, grab your recaf, and let's get some paint on that ever-growing pile of potential. It's here, the Heresy is My Therapy SLAPCHOP tutorials. Today, we've got a little treat for the Xenos players out there. Well, I suppose Xenos. It's for the Tau. Tau Fire Warrior, no less. The humble Tau Fire Warrior. Yes, we're going to go with a nice classic colour scheme today. But again, it's been asked for, so I'm more than happy to do this. I'm looking forward to doing a few battle suits, but today is, of course, a Fire Warrior. So as always, everything you need will be in the description below. Enjoy today's episode of How to Slap Chop Tau Fire Warrior. Let's get to it. Right, here he is, the humble Fire Warrior, ready to go. As always, we're going to go with our 3-tier system: Administratum Grey, Ulthuan Grey, and of course White Scar. We've got our tissue, our kitchen roll, we've got our wet palette, and we've got our water pot. We've got our array of brushes, and we've also got our dry brush here, good to go, that we're going to use. As always, first things first, Administratum Grey. We're going to put it on our paintbrush and we're going to take all of it off, and we're going to apply small circles all over the model. Make sure we get everything off. We don't want to go too thick and heavy. Straight away, we're going to slowly build up the layers with this to get a nice clean finish. So as always, small circles all over the model, getting absolutely everywhere. Underneath, over the top, absolutely everywhere with our dry brush, okay? Done a couple of layers there, maybe 1 or 2. Grab yourself an old brush, remember, as we'd always do, and get rid of that excess dust. Yes, the keen-eyed amongst you will notice that his left pauldron that he usually has, like his firing shield, is missing. I do apologise, I've lost it somewhere, so we'll have to just make do, guys. I'm so sorry. Grab our smaller dry brush and we're going to get our Ulthuan Grey, and we're just going to go, as always with this, where the light shines. So no need to go underneath the model, we're just going where the light shines. So as always, take some onto your paintbrush, take it all off, get it all off there. All right, and we slowly build from there. Again, where the light would shine, so always above, and again, just small circles all over the model. Above, not from below. Continuing on, as always, guys, this has been sponsored by Chronicle Cards, Chronicle RPG, and you can get 20% off everything you purchase from their store using code HERESY20. Do love a good dry brush, and like I say, Chronicle do an excellent dry brush as used in a lot of the videos here today. Anyway, we're going to get our White Scar, and all we're going to do, same again, get our small dry brush, and all we're going to do, quite simply, take it all off, put some on the dry brush, take it all off, get it all off there, get it all off. And all we're going to do, like I say, small circles all over the model. Again, just add that nice highlighted finish with that dry brush effect. There he is, all done and good to go. As you can see, I've done a couple of layers of it, and then I just use that old dry brusher to take everything off. But this should be the sort of level of brightness that you want to have your model looking, okay? So feel free to go back over with Ulthuan Grey and White Scar just to kind of add a bit more to it. So all I'm going to do here, I'm just going to, whatever base you're going with, whatever base you're going with, we're going to apply it on now. All we're allowing ourselves to do, just like say, apply it onto the base. It just allows it to dry whilst we're doing the model, so that when it comes to the final details, it'll all be nice and dry. Okay, right, so we're gonna get our skeleton horde. Okay, like I say, for this, it's a very a nice, we want that tan colour, so very lots of browns. If you wanted a basis originally with Rhino Oxide, you could do, but all I'm doing is basically straight from the pot to the palette and then onto the model, getting probably 2 thin coats of that skeleton horde all over the model. So this is where we're just going to get a nice underpainted effect on the other layers of contrast. Okay, so a nice healthy amount of skeleton horde pot palette model. Okay. With him all covered, that's 2 thin coats applied onto the model. And now we're going to get our Snakebite Leather. This is going to replicate the sort of XV8, I think the old paint was. But yeah, Snakebite Leather, it's a nice enough, a nice coat that we're going to put on. And again, all we're doing here is onto our palette, we're going to thin it down with some Lamian medium, 2 parts, 3 parts. It is a relatively thin paint, but it's also quite a, it's just a really bit of a weird one. It's not a Cygor Brown or a Gor-grunta Fur, it's like its own texture. But yeah, so kind of just thin it down, get a nice 3 to or 2 to 1 consistency, and all we're going to do is we're just going to get this all over the model. Like I say, 2 thin coats all over the armor work only. Okay, all over the armor work only. All right, and then on the weapon system, wherever you fancy going, if you want to break it down, we'll get to that in a minute. But yes, so on the helmet, the armor work, all the armor work, the helmet, backpack, comms link, it's all going to be with Snakebite Leather. All right. And as I say there, like I say, shoulder pads, you can start to see it all starting to come together now. So we've got the shoulder pad, we've got the helmet, we've got all the padding around the legs and the armor work there, okay? With that applied, I'm just going to get my Gor-grunta Fur and we're going to start to do the cloth area now. So all the cloth area of the model, that's going to be with our Gor-grunta Fur, thinned down with our Lamian medium. As always, guys, want to thin this down and build those layers up. Like I did with the armor work with the Snakebite Leather, there was two thin coats again over the top, and this will be the same with the Gor-grunta Fur. All right, so it'll be exactly the same with the Gor-grunta Fur. All we're doing, get into a bit of focus there. Don't know why that's done that. For some reason, it's focused on the back end, not on the model. Fantastic, great editing skills here done. Bit better. So, like I say, we're just getting that Gor-grunta Fur in and amongst all the cloth area that we want to have. Okay, so just in the cloth area, looking rather nice. With that done, we're going to add the sort of like black parts. This is really going to be on like the hooves, the gloves, and again, we're going to go, because yeah, we're basically going to put this on the gloves and on the hoofs, if you will. No only feet for my Tau Fire Warriors, that's for sure. Okay, so like I say, we're going pot to palette with this one. We want to try and get a nice darkened effect with this. So like I say, into all the gloves, into the hooves, whichever areas else that you'd like to have, kind of with that black effect. But just hooves and feet and these gloves is all we're going to do with this. Again, from the pot onto the palette, and again, just if you want to thin it down, you can do, but you shouldn't really need to with the with Black Templar for this. Right, there's those areas all done rather nicely. Again, just to build up the layers, it's nice and thin to build up the layers. Next up, we're going to get our Cygor Brown. Remember, guys, this is a very, very heavy colour. I've said this every time we use Cygor Brown, so we need to make sure we use our Lamian medium just to kind of thin that paint down. It's always generally either a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 on here, and we just mix it all up nicely, and then just dry brush off a bit, and then just like I say, get a little bit on the brush, roll it off, and then all we're going to do is we're going to almost like a bit of a glaze over the areas that we've applied the Cygor Brown to. And this will give that sort of cloth, and we're starting to create a little bit of a deserty contrast between the two. And like I say, if you've added it into some of your weapon system, just to kind of break the shape of the weapon up as well. All right, it's a nice desert type theme here with our Tau Fire Warrior. Okay, next up, we're going to get our Zandhri Dust. We're also going to get some Kislev. Yeah. And this is where we're going to, this is where it will now start to create the effect that we want to before, where you might feel like this is quite a blotchy looking model with all these different browns and stuff. However, with the Zandhri Dust, this is going to kind of break all that up and get rid of the blotchiness. So as always, plenty on the brush, take it all off, and we feather dust this, guys. Feather dust. I say it every single time, and I always use this tone when I say it, but we are feather dusting it, and you will slowly start to see the blotchiness go away and just take it to the desired effect. If you feel like you'll know if you've gone too far. So just slowly build it up all over the model. Nice and easy. Just, yeah, nice and easy, guys. Feather dusting, feather dusting, feather dusting, and then add a little bit more, okay? Nice and light with this, super easy. Next, get your Shabti bone. That was what I was looking for a second ago, apologies. Grab your Shabti bone and same again, but all you're going to do is apply this on the areas that we've applied the Snakebite Leather, so just the armor work is what we're aiming to apply this to, okay? And same again, super light, take it all off, and just on those areas that we've applied the Snakebite Leather to, so basically the armor work, bits of the weapon, just the tops of everywhere where there's a bit more light getting to in the armor stuff. Okay, and of course if you want to go with the base as well, you can do. Alright, but we're just kind of say creating a bit more of a contrast between the two, between the armor and the clothing. Okay, all done. Gonna get yourself our bronze. If you've got a bronze or a gold, either or, it doesn't really matter too much. But all we're doing is just on the end of the pulse rifle. There's almost like, it's like medallion. Medallion? Is it a medallion thing? I don't know. But basically, pot, pallet, then there's sort of like the circle at the end of the pulse rifle. We're just gonna put 2 thin coats in there to, yeah, that's gonna be the only metallic bit that we're gonna do on this model. That done, we're going to get our white scar or Corax white if you've got it, and all we're going to do is going to put these on the lenses, on the visor, on his helmet, a little bit on the backpack, and of course onto his sight. So like I say, bit of white scar onto the palette, and then all you're going to do is just cut the little dots onto the lenses and onto the sight, and then around the back you've also got you know, on the backpack some little dials as well that you can do. So on the scope, on the visor, or other areas that you want to create some little lights on. All right. Okay, we're going to grab our Agrex Earthshade while our white scar is drying. So grab some Agrex Earthshade, pot, palette, and then basically just pop that in and around that bronze or that gold that you've applied to. Again, it's completely up to you, the metal that you use there. I've gone with like a Balthazar, it's like a bronze, and all you're doing is popping that liquid talent in there, and that will just sit in the recesses nice and just kind of null the metallic just a little bit. Talassar Blue, great one for the lenses. It's a really super easy way of doing this. Like I say, pot, palette, nice and easy. And all we're going to do is just those areas that you've gone with. So I'm going to go on the lenses. So yeah, just in the blue. It doesn't have to be neat because it's going to create a bit of a glow effect around the helmet. The 2 side dials of the scope, and then on the backpack, I'm just going to add that leather Talassar Blue on the backpack. All right, like I say, it doesn't have to be too neat because you're going to create, it will create like a little bit of a glow around the helmet, and then same on the backpack, those little dials there with that Talassar Blue just on there. Again, make sure you go pot to palette, not straight from the pot, okay? And then we're going to add a little bit of warp lightning, and I'm just going to put that on the scope. So like the kind of like part on the scope, or the dial on the front, the side part, and that's just going to go super easy, just on the front there, nothing wild. From there, I'm going to take a sort of like a silver, a light silver, so Stormhost silver, and all I'm going to do, again, pop, palette, and then on the area that I did, I made the metallics. I'm just gonna very lightly just pop a little bit on there, just to give it like a little bit of a spot highlight. Nothing too wild. Again, there it is on the back. Fantastic. My camera decides to completely not focus on the area I want it to. Always the way, isn't it? Silly, very silly. And there he is, really. That's pretty much him all done. So we're going to cut to the part where he's all based up, and whatever basing you decide to go to. But as you can see, that's him, you know, all pretty much done. And I'm just again pointing out the lack of shoulder pad. And there he is, guys, all done, based up, good to go. I think I might actually change that desert grass to a bit more of a greener grass desert look to kind of break up the colours. But anyway, that's him, all done. Sorry about the shoulder pad. I hope you guys have found this video useful for your fire warriors. If you have, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.